In the vast cold expanse of space, humanity had always been the laughingstock of the Galactic Federation. Advanced civilizations from distant star systems would gather in massive conference halls, their strange appendages and translucent bodies shimmering with technological superiority, while they discussed the primitive humans with barely concealed amusement. Hyun Park sat at the edge of the massive circular chamber, his dark eyes scanning the room. He was the youngest human representative ever invited to the Interstellar Congress, and he knew exactly what the other species thought of Earth. They saw humans as backward, emotional, and technologically infantile. The Krellian delegates, with their metallic exoskeletons and six-jointed arms, were particularly cruel. Their translator devices carried a mocking tone as they described human technology as adorable and barely worth mentioning. Nearby, the gaseous luminary beings swirled in colorful patterns, their energy-based forms pulsing with what could only be described as condescending laughter. "Humans have not even mastered complete planetary defense," announced the Krellian ambassador, his mechanical voice echoing through the chamber. "They still struggle with basic energy conservation and interstellar travel. How can they possibly contribute to galactic development?" Hyun remained perfectly still. He had been chosen for this mission precisely because of his ability to remain calm under ridicule. While the other delegates mocked, he was collecting data, observing every technological boast, every moment of overconfidence. The conference hall was a marvel of alien engineering. Holographic displays danced around the delegates, showing star maps, technological achievements, and complex galactic trade routes. Humanity's section was always the smallest, often accompanied by subtle chuckles and dismissive gestures. "Their weapons are primitive," whispered a luminary delegate to another, seemingly unaware that human translation systems could easily pick up their conversation. "Their spacecraft are like children's toys compared to our quantum defense networks." What they didn't know was that Hyun was not just listening. He was recording. Every single moment of ridicule was being carefully documented, analyzed, and stored. Behind his calm exterior, a plan was forming, a plan that would change everything. The Krellian ambassador continued his presentation, showing images of advanced weapon systems, planetary shields, and faster-than-light travel technologies. Each slide was another reminder of humanity's perceived inadequacy. The other delegates nodded, their various appendages and energy forms expressing agreement. Hyun noticed something interesting. Despite their technological boasts, each civilization revealed subtle weaknesses in their presentations. The Krellian shield systems had predictable frequency modulations. The luminary faster-than-light drives showed clear quantum entanglement limitations. No one was paying attention to the quiet human in the corner. No one realized that every piece of information shared was being processed, studied, and would soon become the foundation of humanity's greatest technological leap. As the conference continued, Hyun made mental notes. The alien races were so confident in their superiority that they had become complacent. They shared technological details freely, believing humans could never pose a threat. They were wrong. The meeting would conclude with another round of subtle mockery. Humanity would be patted on the metaphorical head, treated like a young, underdeveloped species that might someday grow up. But Hyun knew different. In his mind, a revolution was already taking shape. A revolution that would be silent, precise, and absolutely devastating. The aliens continued to laugh. They had no idea what was coming. Deep within a hidden research facility in the mountains of Chile, Jae Kim worked tirelessly. The facility looked ordinary from the outside, just another government building surrounded by dense forest and high security fences. But inside, something extraordinary was happening. Screens flickered with complex equations and holographic designs. Dozens of engineers moved silently, their fingers dancing across advanced computer interfaces. They were building something that would change everything, a stealth technology so advanced it would make current detection systems look like children's toys. Jay understood the importance of their work. Every mockery from the Galactic Federation, every dismissive comment about human technology, was fuel for their mission. He had spent years developing metamaterial adaptive camouflage that could bend light, absorb radiation, and manipulate quantum signatures. The first prototype was nothing like traditional spacecraft. It looked more like a living membrane than a mechanical vehicle. Its surface could change properties in microseconds, shifting between total invisibility and solid matter. Traditional radar, thermal imaging, and quantum scanning would simply see nothing. "We're not just building a ship," Jay would tell his team. "We're building a statement." Funding came from secret international collaborations. Multiple governments had pooled resources, understanding that this was humanity's chance to prove itself. Every scientist worked with a single purpose: to create technology that would make the galaxy reconsider its opinion of humans. The adaptive camouflage worked on multiple levels. It wasn't just about hiding, it was about complete environmental integration. The ships could absorb surrounding radiation, match electromagnetic frequencies, and essentially become indistinguishable from the background of space. Prototype after prototype was tested. Thousands of simulations ran continuously. Each failure was a learning opportunity. Each small success brought them closer to their goal. The team worked in shifts, nobody knowing the full scope of the project except Jay and a select few. Communication was strictly controlled. No digital traces, no external communications. Everything was done through secure, quantum-encrypted channels that couldn't be intercepted or decoded. They were building a technological revolution in complete silence. The War. Weaponry was equally revolutionary. Molecular disruptors that could theoretically disable entire planetary defense systems. Quantum entanglement communication systems that could transmit information faster than light. Energy absorption capabilities that could turn enemy weapon attacks into additional power sources. Jay remembered the conference where humans were laughed at. He remembered how alien races saw them as technological children. Now they were creating something that would rewrite those perceptions forever. Each ship was designed to be part of a larger network. They could communicate instantaneously, adapt, collectively, and move as a single intelligent organism. No individual ship was vulnerable. They would protect and support each other in ways no other civilization had ever conceived. The mountain facility became a forge of human potential. Engineers from different backgrounds, mechanical, quantum, biological, worked together. They weren't just building ships, they were building hope. Years passed, prototypes improved. Silent tests were conducted in remote parts of space where no one was watching. Each test confirmed their progress. The technology was working beyond their wildest expectations. Jay would often stand at the massive window overlooking the testing area, watching experimental ships shimmer and vanish. In those moments, he could see the future. A future where humanity would no longer be the galaxy's joke. The alien races continued to laugh and mock. They had no idea what was coming. Humanity was preparing. Silently. Precisely. Unstoppably. The ships were almost ready, and when they would finally appear, the galaxy would never be the same again. The moment arrived without warning. Thousands of ships materialized simultaneously across multiple star systems, their surfaces shifting between visibility and complete invisibility. The Galactic Federation's most advanced detection systems simply failed. Yun Choi stood on the bridge of the lead vessel, her fingers dancing across quantum interface panels. Years of preparation had come down to this single moment. The tactical algorithms she had developed were about to prove humanity's technological supremacy. The first attack targeted the Krellian home defense grid. Massive planetary shields that had stood unbroken for centuries suddenly collapsed. Ships that were moments ago completely invisible now revealed themselves, sleek, deadly, and impossibly advanced. Alien communication networks went into chaos. Panic spread faster than information. The human ships moved with a precision that defied traditional combat strategies. They weren't just attacking, they were systematically dismantling entire defense infrastructures. Quantum entanglement communication allowed human ships to coordinate with a speed and efficiency that left alien defenders speechless. Each ship was both an individual weapon and part of a larger intelligent network. They anticipated enemy moves before the enemy even considered them. The Luminary tried to respond. Their energy-based weapon systems, once considered the most advanced in the galaxy, became useless. Human ships absorbed their attacks, converting weapon energy into additional power. It was like watching a predator casually absorb and redirect incoming attacks. Planetary defense systems fell one by one, not through brute force, but through intelligent, calculated technological superiority. The human ships didn't just destroy. They analyzed, adapted, and neutralized with surgical precision. Communications intercepted between alien military commanders revealed complete confusion. How could a species they had repeatedly mocked produce technology so far beyond their comprehension? Panic turned to terror as human ships continued their methodical advance. Yoon watched the tactical displays, her expression calm and calculated. Each movement was a chess move, each attack a demonstration of technological evolution. The humans weren't just fighting, they were teaching a lesson about underestimation. The Krellian homeworlds were the first to fall. Massive cities that had stood for thousands of years suddenly found themselves without power, without defense, completely vulnerable. Ships that had been invisible moments before now revealed themselves in perfect formation. Quantum adaptive camouflage allowed human vessels to change not just their visibility, but their entire electromagnetic signature. They could look like debris, like background radiation, like absolutely nothing, and then transform into devastating weapon platforms in milliseconds. Alien military commanders sent desperate communication attempts. But human communication blocking technologies were so advanced that most messages never left their point of origin. It was like watching a sophisticated predator hunt, with the prey completely unaware until the final moment. The uprising wasn't just a military action. It was a statement. Humanity was declaring its technological coming of age, showing the galaxy that years of mockery and dismissal had been a profound mistake. Each destroyed defense grid, each fallen planetary system, was a message. We were never weak, the human actions seemed to say. We were waiting, we were preparing. Yoon allowed herself a small smile. The tactical algorithms were performing beyond even her most optimistic predictions. The alien races that had laughed at humanity were now experiencing a technological revolution they could never have imagined. As the hours passed, the human fleet continued its precise, calculated advance. No unnecessary destruction. No random violence. Just a clean, efficient demonstration of technological superiority. The galaxy watched in shock and disbelief. The species they had considered primitive was revealing itself as the most technologically advanced civilization they had ever encountered. Humanity had arrived. And the universe would never be the same again. The technological uprising had begun. And it was beautiful in its precision, terrifying in its efficiency. Sung Lee watched the holographic displays, his fingers moving across quantum interfaces that seemed to breathe with intelligence. The AI systems he had developed were performing beyond any theoretical prediction. Each alien defense network was being dismantled not just by force but by pure computational superiority. The human technology wasn't just advanced, it was alive. Adaptive algorithms predicted enemy movements with such precision that it seemed like magic. Where traditional military strategies would take hours to analyze a situation, these systems calculated and responded in microseconds. Alien races began to realize they were facing something entirely different. These weren't just ships. They were intelligent systems that could think, adapt, and neutralize threats faster than any biological intelligence could comprehend. The Luminary tried to counter with their most advanced quantum computing systems. Within moments, human AI had not just breached their networks but completely rewritten their defensive protocols. It was like watching a master hacker effortlessly take control of a child's computer game. Sung remembered the years of research. Countless nights spent developing neural networks that could learn, predict, and evolve faster than any known technological system. Every mockery, every dismissive comment from alien races had been fuel for their innovation. Planetary defense systems began to fall like dominoes. Not through brute force, but through intelligent deconstruction. Human AI systems didn't just attack, they understood. They analyzed every single weakness in milliseconds, creating solutions before the problem was even fully recognized. The most terrifying aspect was the precision. Each attack was calculated to minimize unnecessary destruction. The human fleet wasn't interested in random violence. They were sending a message. A careful, methodical demonstration of technological superiority. Communication networks across multiple star systems collapsed, not through traditional jamming, but through intelligent infiltration. The AI systems could speak every known alien language, understand every communication protocol, and manipulate them at will. Krellian military commanders watched in horror as their most secure systems were laid bare. Defensive grids that had stood for centuries became transparent, their secrets exposed like an open book. The human technology didn't just breach, it understood. Sung rarely showed emotion, but there was a hint of satisfaction in his eyes. Years of preparation, of being laughed at, of being considered technological infants, all of it had led to this moment. Humanity was rewriting the rules of technological engagement. The adaptive AI could do something no other civilization had achieved. It could learn and evolve in real time. Each interaction, each defensive strategy encountered became immediate knowledge for the entire human fleet. What worked against one ship became a universal strategy in moments. Alien technological archives were systematically accessed and analyzed. Centuries of accumulated knowledge became instantly available to human systems. It wasn't just an invasion. It was a complete technological transformation. Planetary infrastructure began to fail, not through direct attack but through intelligent system manipulation. Power grids, communication networks, defensive systems, all fell under human technological control with surgical precision. The most advanced alien civilizations realized they were facing something beyond their comprehension. These weren't just ships. They were living, thinking technological organisms that could adapt faster than any biological intelligence could respond. Sung continued to monitor the displays. Each movement, each interaction was a carefully choreographed demonstration of human potential. The years of mockery, the dismissive laughter, the constant underestimation, all of it had led to this moment of technological revolution. As hours passed, the human fleet continued its methodical advance. No wasted energy, no unnecessary destruction. Just a pure, intelligent demonstration of what human technology could achieve when pushed beyond traditional boundaries. The galaxy watched in silent shock. The species they had considered primitive was revealing itself as the most technologically advanced civilization in known existence. Humanity had arrived, and technology would never be the same again. Hyun Park stood on the bridge of the command ship, watching the final moments of the galactic transformation. The Interstellar Congress Hall, once a place of mockery, was now humanity's central control room. Outside, star systems that had laughed at humans now trembled under their technological dominance. The final transmission was simple, short, precise. Underestimation has consequences. Alien civilizations that once ruled the galaxy now found themselves completely neutralized, not destroyed, not annihilated, simply controlled. Human technology had demonstrated something far more powerful than military might. Absolute technological superiority. Krellian defense networks were now managed by human AI systems. Luminary communication grids ran through quantum networks designed by human engineers. Every advanced civilization found its most critical infrastructure subtly guided by human technology. It wasn't an occupation. It was a technological rehabilitation. Yoon Choi managed the diplomatic transitions. Her strategies were brilliant, not about punishment, but about technological elevation. Alien races would be given choices: adapt or become technological protectorates. Most chose adaptation. The human approach was unlike any previous galactic power transition. They didn't want territory. They wanted technological progress. Each conquered civilization became a research partner, not a defeated enemy. Sung Lee's AI systems began reconstructing alien technological frameworks. Inefficient systems were redesigned. Outdated communication protocols were upgraded. The entire galactic technological infrastructure was being rewritten line by line. Quantum communication networks now ran faster than light. Energy production systems became clean and infinitely sustainable. Medical technologies that had been stuck in centuries-old paradigms suddenly leaped forward decades in development. Humanity wasn't just conquering, they were solving problems. The Galactic Federation's power structure collapsed completely. But unlike previous galactic transitions, this wasn't about political control. It was about technological evolution. Humans had become the galaxy's technological guardians. Alien races that once mocked now sought human technological partnerships. Research facilities that were once closed became open collaboration centers. The mockery of previous years transformed into a genuine respect for human innovation. J. Kim oversaw the technological integration. His teams worked tirelessly, ensuring that each alien civilization could benefit from the technological leap. It wasn't about domination. It was about elevation. The stealth technology that started the revolution became a standard across the galaxy. Ships that could adapt, communicate, and transform became the new normal. Humanity had not just changed the rules, they had rewritten them completely. Economic systems were redesigned, communication networks were rebuilt, energy production was revolutionized. Every aspect of galactic infrastructure went through a complete human-led transformation. Diplomatic meetings that once involved mockery now became serious technological exchange conferences. Humans went from being the least respected species to the most sought-after technological partners. The message was clear. Technological superiority wasn't about weapons, it was about solving problems, about pushing boundaries, about seeing potential where others saw limitations. Hyun Park's final report to Earth was simple. Mission accomplished. The galaxy now understands. As star systems settled into the new order, one thing became absolutely clear. The species that was once laughed at had become the most important civilization in known space. Humanity had arrived. Quietly, precisely, absolutely, and the galaxy would never be the same again.